Long ago, a group of like-minded and skilled people formed a guild deep in the bowels of New Orleans, Louisiana. This guild would become known as one of the most powerful guilds in the world, the Thieves Guild. Rival to only the Assassins Guild, almost nothing could stop them. Each year, the guild would look for something special that would give them the ultimate advantage and make them unstoppable. This is the story of Remy LeBeau. Welcome to Origin. The Thieves Guild was known to steal babies after they were born, in order to sell them to the highest bidder. But one night, one baby stood out from the rest. Born with an angel's smile and a devil's red eyes, Remy was special. So special, the guild felt he was worth owning instead of selling. But growing up different wasn't easy for Remy. Every step of the way, he had to prove to the guild that he was the best thief among them. Around the young age of 8, Remy joined the Fagans mob, who were orphans of the streets. It didn't take long for his skills to emerge, and one day he spotted something. It was a young girl, and she was headed for a Thieves Guild trap. In a flash, Remy flung down from a nearby rooftop. You see, even at 8, Remy couldn't help himself from saving a lady. It didn't take long, though, for him to figure out that this wasn't some ordinary girl. Her name was Belladonna Boudreaux, daughter of Martis Boudreaux, the patriarch of the Assassins Guild. Trained to kill since birth, she was one lady that didn't need saving. Their friendship quickly turned into innocent love. His first love. At 10 years old, Remy successfully pickpocketed Jean-Luc LeBeau, the then patriarch of the Thieves Guild. Jean-Luc was so impressed by Remy that he later adopted him as his own son. It wasn't until early into his teens that Remy's mutant powers started to fully develop. Worried of what his family and friends would think, he hid his powers from them. At 15, Remy joined his cousin, Etienne, on his tithing, a ritual each member had to go through in order to join the Thieves Guild. That's when Etienne approached Remy about his powers and how he saw what he could do. He then asked Remy why he kept it as a secret. Remy's reason was simply this. He was afraid of his power, and he thought he could kill someone with it. The mission didn't go as planned, and they were both captured by a mutant named Candra, who they were trying to steal from. Instead of killing them, she sold them to a monstrous mutant named Pig. He planned to sell them both to Hydra as boy soldiers. Having no other choice, and fearing for both of their lives, Remy used his powers, blowing up a wall to escape where they were being held captive. While trying to escape, they came face to face with Pig himself. When Remy jumped to dodge Pig's giant arms, he was caught by Pig's hand. He then squeezed him, popping something in his knee and cracking a rib. Pig then smashed him to the ground, pinning him there. There, Remy decided that he wasn't going to give up, that the only thing that would kill this thing would be for him to use his powers. He wasn't sure if his powers would work on flesh, so he found the closest thing to him, a pack of playing cards. Once in his hand, it just felt right. He then charged it with his powers and threw it at Pig, blinding his right eye, saving Etienne and himself. Later, during his teen years, Remy was hired to recover Dr. Nathaniel Essak's stolen diaries back from the Weapon X program. Once in the snow-filled grounds of Canada, Remy told himself that once he got home, he would steal himself a nice coat, something stylish and long. Now inside the facility, he started to notice that this wasn't just another normal job. Then 2 guards showed up, and right as a fight was about to break out, an alarm went off. The alarm telling every guard that Weapon X had escaped. The guards let him go, and as he was running to find the diaries, he saw Weapon X ripping through the countless numbers of guards with ease. Once he found the diaries, he realized that it was too dangerous if it had anything to do with the Weapon X that he just saw, so he decided to just burn them. Years later, Bella and Remy were both still madly in love with each other. A love that turned into somewhat a Romeo and Juliet story. 2 families, both rivals of one another, then forced into a pact when Remy finally married Bella years later. This didn't sit well with her brother Julian, however, so he challenged Remy to a duel. After a long fight, Remy came out the victor, but had to pay a large price. You see, sharp objects are never things to play with. When Remy's dagger struck Julian in the chest and exploded, he was killed instantly. Even though it was deemed self-defense, Remy was exiled from the Thieves' Guild in order to keep the peace between the groups. That's when he set out to discover the world and to try and figure out how to fully control his powers. It's also when he met the X-Men, and well, the rest is history. Thank you guys so much for listening to Origin. This episode was written and narrated by me, Cameron Rennie. There's a lot of new faces out there, and I want to welcome each and every one of you guys to the Origin family. Thank you for being here, and as always, thank you for listening and showing me your support. Your messages and feedback has been awesome, so keep it coming. If things seem a little different, it's because this podcast is normally a bi-weekly uploaded podcast. The last 2 episodes, I decided to change it up a bit and just see how weekly would go. And I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy seeing a new episode of Origin each and every week. So within the next 2 weeks, I'm going to try this again and turn this thing into a weekly podcast. Now, there's no promises that it won't go back to bi-weekly because things do get pretty busy around here, but let's just see how things go. So look for a new episode of Origin based on The Punisher next Monday. If you guys never want to miss anything Origin, like upcoming episodes or announcements of live shows, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Origin_podcast and on Facebook.com/Origin Podcast. Also, you can join our Patreon at Patreon.com/Origin Podcast. There you'll get instant access to Patreon-only posts, episode transcripts, and even bonus episodes. I can't say it enough, but the feedback that I've been getting from you guys within this last week has been incredible. And really, that's the number one thing to push me to make this podcast a weekly uploaded podcast. So thank you for the feedback and keep it coming. I look forward to Monday, and I hope you guys have a good rest of the week. And we'll see you next time.